Hey everyone. Um, I haven't been feeling well, so my voice might come through a little bit lower today. Um, I think 10 and a half days into a 15-day drought. But there's something else that I really, really need to get done, and I'm going to start working on that today. Uh, I went and I demolished all of this because I'm going to rebuild it in a different way. I went ahead and unlocked the overhangs because I'm going to need them for our project today. So, without further ado, let's get started on this project. So, today's project, what we're doing is we're going to build our science corner. I'm calling it the science corner just because it's going to go over here on this side. So how we're going to do this is we are going to take our platforms and overhangs and we're going to use those to create our structure out here in the water. So basically we are going to go ahead and unlock the number cruncher because we're going to use this. And we're going to use engines to power it. And while that may seem like that is a whole lot for this, I feel like it's going to be way more beneficial in the long run on how we're going to do these things. So we're going to go ahead and I've unlocked the number cruncher. The other thing we're going to need right now is a suspension bridge. 400. Oh, all my science is gone. Yeah, that's it. All my science is gone. At least that's what it feels like. So then from the bridge, we'll come out here into the water. And we'll need that. I'm trying to build this and see if I can do this right. This is actually my second time recording, attempting to do this, because the first time I actually forgot to press record. Go figure. I guess it was one of those days. But yeah, I forgot to press record, so I was sitting here trying to do all this and then realized I hadn't pressed record. So basically I was just talking to thin air. It was brilliant. It was so brilliant. I couldn't believe I did something that silly. All right. So from here, actually, we're going to use the twos. And then we will be able to build like that out here and out here. And I feel like I'm doing this. This is way different than what I had done last time. And I know it is. I just can't put my finger on why. But this is fine. What we're doing is we're trying to build up I just don't know why this feels so wrong. Oh well. That'll at least get us started. And I'm trying to wait for our food to get back up some. And I want to start putting more platforms here. Like, I'm going to rip this out and have them build these platforms. But I need to make sure that I can do it at a time where it's not going to hurt too much. And you might be wondering what I mean by not going to hurt too much. It's if I take out one of these, I need it built almost immediately because I lose access to the mushroom hydroponic garden. And while we're good on food, our kohlrabies are coming back up. It's still, we're not in an optimal situation. We're maintaining 41 beavers, but also looking at it, we're continually pumping water. So a 15-day drought with around 40 beavers, we're still going to need, 400 water a day. So for 15 days, we're going to need like 2,000 water. And we only have, 650, 700 stored. So we're also going to need to get more water, which is one of the reasons why I really want to get rid of these inventors and have number crunchers, because if I have number crunchers, then I don't have to have manned, or I don't have to have the science manned, which will be great in the long run. So then look. So our engine's looking like it's going to be placed there. And I'm putting that there for reference to be able to see how this is going to look. Oh yeah, I forgot to demolish these. So as things are going, I'm going to let this play out and I'll be back after the drought's finished. Hey, it's cycle 13, day 3, and we just got our drought notification. Another drought coming in. Just can't win. Just can't win. Our food's getting back up there, so we're doing good on that. But I do want to get started on this side now, which means I'm going to have to take care of all of these right now while no one's working in there, and do the same thing to this side that I did to the other side. So we're going to go ahead and delete those and just that one. And then we need to put 2 one-level platforms and then this. The crazy part is that I kind of feel like at some point I might end up come back and redo all of this later once I get all of the larger platforms and everything, but I probably won't. I'm saying that now. Maybe that's just kind of like the perfectionist in me talking, but that would be a lot to go through. So we will use our priority tool to set that one to very high so they work on this one first and get this so I can at least get back to using my hydroponic garden. Again, I apologize if my voice isn't carrying very far. I just don't want to turn the microphone up too high, and then it counteracts everything else. But yeah, our drought's getting ready to hit. We'll see how long it is. But I need to start getting all of this loaded up for our bigger issues that we're going to have. Like housing. I want housing out here because I want to use most of my land that I have until I get an excavator. For the things that I actually need land for, like trees. And our drought started. I also need to start building a storage place, so there's that too. So many things to do, so little time. I'll be back. Alright, it's cycle 13, day 21. I actually had to stop recording because I wasn't feeling well, and I decided to pick it back up when I was feeling a little bit better. My voice is a little bit better today. So this is going to take a while, and it's just because we're waiting on metal. So the source of metal is going to slow us down for getting this. So I decided to look at it, really look at it, and I just assigned priorities so I could at least get one number cruncher in, because that is the biggest thing, is that I need to get at least one in, because that frees up 2 beavers. And right now our population has dipped back down to we have a total of 37 beavers, just because I need to make sure I can sustain more than 40 with all 4 of these running, because it's above 40, the normal population. So another thing that I did was I unlocked the row houses. And the reason I did that is because it holds more beavers. It's, for me, I see it as a more efficient way to house my beaver population, because this holds a total of 15 with the same footprint as this. And then when I was looking at the other housing, the large barracks, which holds 16, it is actually a 3x3. So a 3x2 that is one block taller holds 15 versus a 3x3 that'll hold 16. It seemed like a more efficient way to build, since I'm really focusing on building vertically. So with my beaver population coming back down and getting short, that's also slowing some things down. So I think I am actually going to set up some of my other projects that I want to work on while I'm waiting for that number cruncher, because once that number cruncher goes away, those are actually going to be replaced by 2 medium tanks for water storage. Because the last thing we need is to be able to be running out of water. And I mean, we're maxed out. We still have 6.4 days left, but we're also pumping water out of here, which is dropping the level, which is also taking away the irrigation of the land. So just trying to find ways to combat multiple problems in the most efficient and effective way. But we're good on food. We actually need more storage for food. And the big debate is, do I unlock a large warehouse? I mean, my science is still pretty high, but it's still going slowly, so to speak. But I could just keep building up more storehouses over here. And another thing, our planks are also becoming a bottleneck for everything. So we're gonna keep slowly working on building this. I'm going to get started on my next project, and I will be back. Well, it is cycle 14, day 20. We're halfway through a 25-day drought. And minor setback. Because all of the metal that was up here is almost gone, I've had built stairs. And I thought the contamination level in this water had dropped low enough. Apparently, it is not. So our little friend is contaminated. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm working on a decontamination pod. And this requires power. So the efficiency is going to, or the power is going to decrease the efficiency of everything else, the power requirements for while it's needed. With him being sick, I don't want him to die. But this also creates another issue because we are lacking metal. Where else can I get metal from? Besides there. That's all in contaminated water. That's all in contaminated water. Yep. So I have to hold out. So the next project I was looking on was actually making an underwater mine in here. The issue with that is that the mine costs 4,000 science. I am nowhere near it. I just had to spend 600 on the 400 on the decontamination pod. And I also need extract, which means I need a centrifuge, which is also going to require power. And land is at a premium right now. Could put a centrifuge up here next to the water, bad water, and then just put a power wheel in it. We may have to do that. That's another 600. That's another setback. Negligence on my part. It's going to take 30 metal blocks, 40 gears, 60 planks. So it should be good to go pretty quickly. The only good thing is that our beavers, our population's back up to 41, 37 adults with 4 kits, and we should hold out fairly well because we're up to 1.2k of water stored and 1.5k of food. So we're looking like we're in a good place for that. Which means even if we have to run these, my contaminated beaver is probably going to die before all of this gets finished. Even if I max out the priority. But that just set us back with 1,000 science. I mean, the number cruncher to get that 1,000 science back is only going to take, what, 100 days? 1 science, was it 10 science per day? Or was it 10 science per hour? Oh, 10 science per hour. Excuse me. So it's going to take us 100 hours. 3 days. Just over 3 days. 4 days. 96. 96 is 4 days. So we might be okay. We might. We'll see. So over here I built a dam to stop this water from flowing here into here. That'll dry this out and eventually be able to use the mine here and possibly get us land to work with in the future. There are some things I'd like to try. We'll just see how that works. But this would have to dry out first, which would mean it'd have to be quite a lot of droughts for evaporation after this is built, because all of this bad water will just run right off the map here. So that's good for that. The race is on to save one beaver's life. Alright, cycle 15, day 1. As you can see, Kurzal, our first beaver to get contaminated, is deconning in the pod. We just finished the centrifuge and it's being powered. It's a slow going process, but hopefully he'll be decontaminated, and then Zodok, our second beaver who got contaminated, he will be deconned as well, and we will not lose a beaver to contamination. The biggest issue though I see is we're running out of metal, and there's not going to be another safe place to get metal from. Our droughts ended, so that means eventually more water is going to pour into here, and well, I guess right now, at the end of a 30-day drought, we'll be able to get more metal, because we could go get it right now without getting contaminated. But if there's another bad tide, we're just out of luck. So I just have to hope there's enough. There should be enough to finish the number cruncher and the engine, at least make it to those, get those two done, and then we can wait on the science to be able to build a mine. Even though a mine is gonna need metal to build, I'm pretty sure. Let me double check. Now it's gonna need treated planks, which that's a whole nother thing, but that's a much easier it's much easier to negotiate with treated planks, because that requires wood. So in that other time I built more storage, which our storage is starting to look very ugly and unorganized, which I don't like, but this is what we've got to work with, so we're making the best of it. Cycle 15, day 7, and we're about to hit a bad tide, but it looks like our last contaminated beaver is about to come back out healthy and in good standing, which will be fantastic. Yep, no longer contaminated, just in time for a 16-day bad tide, but that's still good. And I'm sure there's other things that I have beavers that could be doing. So lumberjack. I could add another hauler. Could add another builder. And they finished this. So like I said, it's just rolling off the map over here. So this water is no longer being contaminated. I spoke too soon. I guess I'll have to make my way down here and actually shut this off. But that's for future me's problem. But what I can start doing right now is working on this project for this underwater mine. I can at least start building my way out there. I'm not going to be able to necessarily build anything into this contaminated water because it's contaminated water. But we can at least get started with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a suspension bridge, come out here, and get my post there. And while I'm doing all of this, I'm actually doing two things. I'm using it for a path to see how far out I need to go. And I will change out these for suspension bridges at some point. Just not today.
What we do here is go back.
We're still really good on food. We got 10 days left. We're still really good on food. That is amazing. We're still good on water. We have enough water that even if we turn the water pumps off at this moment, we would be able to survive. Well, that's where our mine is going to be. So that's what it's going to look like until we can get to it. Oh, it's too far from the district because the path is not connected. Now it's not. I was wondering what was taking them so long to build these. Well, wood and planks are the one thing that we have. We had a lot more planks, but not as many now because we've been making gears and stuff. Oh, it's finished. It is finished. What am I looking for? A straight power shaft. And with that, we are getting science on a massive scale. So, deleting these, that one, and to be 100% honest, we are replacing those with more water storage, which I said I was going to do. This is more out of a safety precaution. Let's clean up some of this rubble. And we don't have storage for logs, but we're using them very quickly. Yeah. And we have 4 beavers without jobs. So right now, they're just all going to work at the hauling post. I can turn the bad water pump back on because we have been using it to make extract. So we got our super powered science going now, and we got to play around with the overhangs and actually use them, which I'm extremely happy for. So I think we can call it here. Cycle 15, day 20. We got our project done. And we started our next one. We'll see how long that one takes and when it dries out. But hopefully, by the time it does, we'll have everything we need to build it. Because if you build it, they will work. Yeah, that sounds about right. If you build it, they will work. So I guess next time we'll work on starting getting these treated planks, getting the things that we're going to need that to build the actual mine, so we have a steady source of scrap metal coming in, so we can build more things with metal blocks and overhangs. We also might start looking into explosives factory, because dynamite is going to become very crucial. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this. Leave me a like, like or subscribe, or just even leave me a comment. I'm still new to this, even though it says my channel's probably been around for like a year. I'm still new to this. I took breaks because this is not my full-time job. So I will catch you guys later. Peace.